What's going on, motherfuckers? Welcome to the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast. My name is Knackers, and today is Sunday, December 2nd, 2018, and this is episode number 78. Tonight is a free-for-all episode, and I have SaltySam, MiddleAgedStream, and our special guest, the EmberStrife. Salty Sizzles, how are you doing today?
Doing great.
Middle-aged Breer brother. How you doing today, man?
I'm your Breer brother, man. Good, dude.
Good. Ember, and how are you?
Good.
Good shit. All right, we're going to get to these peeps in just a hot second. During the show, if any of you would like to ask a question to be answered during the Q&A near the end of the podcast, you can use the exclamation Q command in chat followed by your question. If we're not live and you'd like to ask a question or submit any kind of feedback, feel free to shoot me an email at crocs@knackers.com. And lastly, if you enjoy the podcast and you'd like to support us without spending a dime, you can always leave a review for the show on iTunes. So first things first, we're going to go around the room, introduce you guys to everybody here. They'll throw out their social media, and we'll get on the show. So Salty Sizzles, start with you, brother.
My name is SaltySam. You can find me on Twitter at TheSaltySam, Instagram, Salty All Day.
My name is Jimmy. You can find me on Twitch and Instagram at MiddleAgedStream. On Twitch and Instagram, MiddleAgedStream, no D on Twitter.
What's up, guys? My name is EmberStrife. You can find me at the EmberStrife on YouTube and Twitch, and just EmberStrife on Twitter and YouTube.
My name is Knackers. You guys can find me on this very channel or on Twitter and Instagram with Knackers. Fuck! At Knackers with 3 A's. I keep saying with Knackers, and it's like the second week that I've done it in a row, and it's driving me absolutely insane. Anyways, what are we drinking tonight?
I actually, the last couple days, have felt like crap, so I'm drinking water for now. I do have a single Yingling left that maybe when I get done drinking all this water, I'll crack into.
It'll make you feel better.
It will.
Promise.
Yeah.
Promise. I got some Christmas stuff. I got Shiner Holiday Cheer, which I've had on here a few times.
Yeah.
And then I also have, this is, I've had it before, but it's pretty solid. I don't know if I've had it on the show. I just got a couple 6-packs of this. It's called You'll Shoot Your Eye Out. It's the Carbach, like the Christmas Story. Got the leg lamp.
Yes.
But it's a nice little winter seasonal ale. So I'm feeling the holiday spirit.
Was there a lamp like that in Home Alone?
No, it wasn't a Christmas Story though.
I don't
His major award.
think I've seen that.
You haven't seen a Christmas Story? How is that even possible?
It's on for 24 hours a day every Christmas.
Jehovah's Witness, motherfucker! I didn't see none of that shit!
Dang,
You haven't
man.
been in that for like 6 years, man. Come on.
Yeah, but I don't...
If it makes you feel any better, I think I've only seen it once or twice in my entire life.
okay. Well, you've still seen it.
That's like not seeing Die Hard in the Christmas season.
Okay.
It's just
blasphemy.
It's so good. It's a great Christmas movie. It really is. It's worth watching at least once.
Die Hard is also an amazing Christmas movie.
Yes.
So, Ember, what you sipping on tonight?
Classic rum and Coke. That's all I got.
Ooh, classy. Is that a fancy glass? Is that a Coca-Cola glass?
It is. It's a Coca-Cola glass.
Knew it. Looks good. Oh, you actually have one of the white... All the Coca-Cola glasses I've seen always have like that green tint to it. That's a clear one. That's fancy.
This one's got a little bit of a tint of blue, but we do have like 2 blue ones and a clear one.
Okay.
I
Roger
can't
that.
remember what fast food place was doing it, but like KFC or Taco Bell or something would just like give you a Coca-Cola glass with your meal.
Ooh. You know what KFC does have right now is a chicken and waffle sandwich that I heard is pretty top notch.
Well, I can't eat it, so you guys will have to let me know.
I also can't eat it because last time I got food poisoning was from KFC. It was a KFC Taco Bell, and I still have not been able to muster up the courage to go back. I am sipping on a wonderful Vin Diesel tonight because this is all I have left. And I'm supposed to stop drinking beer after these are gone. I picked up like some cheap ass vodka and some tonic water, and I need to switch back into that. So I can save the beers for summertime. But while we're once again trying to get back onto the healthy kick, and I'm gonna try and get rid of the beer because I gained like half of my weight back after not going to the gym for so long, and I'm pretty sure most of it has to do with buying a shit ton of beer over and over and over again. Because like we were still eating pretty good even though we weren't going to the gym, but pretty sure the beers are probably, because what's the average calorie intake of one beer? Like 150 calories?
It depends on the beer, but dude, that definitely. I know because like during football season, I don't drink that much beer at all. Like when it's out of football season, I can even drink some during the week, but I don't do that at all really during football season. So, I mean, I put on some pounds since the season's been over, and I know it's directly related to drinking more beer,
Oh, absolutely.
without a doubt.
I did, however, fill up on my weekly stash of Gatorade.
Nice.
Since
Oh,
Jimmy
yeah.
visited me last July, I have been sort of kind of addicted to Gatorade. I've been drinking them a lot lately. And
Did you
shit,
get the G2s?
I get the zeros.
Oh, you get the zeros. Wow.
Yep. Yeah, because I'm just like, it's sort of kind of a replacement for water for me because I hate just drinking straight up water all the time. So I'm like, okay, let's get, I don't think it's no calories. I think it's like 5 or 10 calories, but no sugar. And I feel if I'm going to be drinking a good, because I think at the beginning of every week, Weenie and I go to the liquor store and we pick up some drinks for ourselves. And I usually have like 4 Gatorades a week. And so I'd rather not, if I'm going to be drinking that much of something, I'd much rather not have it be sugary.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's figure out what we've been up to these past 2 weeks. And Ember, these past 5 years since you've been on the podcast. Actually, this is your first time. So let us go around. SaltySam, what you been up to, man?
I haven't been doing a whole lot of shit, just because of all the holiday shit going on. So we hosted Thanksgiving at our house for the first time. That was good. Made a bunch of food, ate a bunch of food, slept a lot, and then I ended up having to work after that. So I've been working my ass off these last couple weeks, and then
How many people did you have over at your house for Thanksgiving, if you don't mind me asking?
it was nothing. It was like 6 or 7 people.
Oh, so it was an easy.
It was just direct family. It
I got
wasn't
you.
like Vans and my mom and stepdad came over, and
Who made the turkey?
we bought that shit. Fuck that.
I figured you would. You just seem to me like the type of guy that likes to hang out in the backyard with like a turkey fryer, and then like you have one of your guns out and you're just shooting beer bottles off like a tree stump or something while
I
that
mean,
turkey's
I
frying.
would 100% do that.
I know.
But like, because of the fact that it was kind of a last minute thing, I was just like, we were already buying a ham from Honey Baked Ham, and they sell honey baked turkey. So I was just like, fuck it, throw one of those in the bag too. And that way, all we basically had to do was throw everything we had already pre-made. So you just throw it all in the oven at the same time for like an hour and a half, and you're done.
I want you guys to answer this question, but I also want chat to answer. Guys, put a 0 in chat for ham and put a 1 in chat for turkey. Do you guys like ham or turkey better?
Ham all day.
I'm a turkey guy, but we usually have both ham and turkey on Thanksgiving because my mother-in-law just goes crazy and she just makes way too much fucking food, which I'm okay with. But
Yeah. I mean, I'll put it to you this way. I got turkey for 6 people. I got ham for 12.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
Like when the people were asking how many people were coming, I was like, I'm going to have 12 people eating ham and 6 people eating turkey.
Figure it out. I don't want none of this.
Like, I didn't have any leftover turkey at all. And we ate all the leftover ham in 2 days.
God
To
damn.
the point where it was just like time for soup. Just the bone left.
I mean, on a bone.
Yeah, dude, I will fuck ham up all day long. But so we did that. I've been working a ton. I spent 2 full days in the woods hunting. Haven't done that in fucking like close to 15 years. And it kind of like I wasn't really expecting to get anything because the weather was shit. It was freezing cold. Like I had 5 layers on. Like I had shirt, long johns, another fucking shirt, sweater, jacket. It was fucking cold. It was like in the 20s in the morning with 20-mile-an-hour winds all day.
Oh,
God dang.
So, but it was nice. It was fucking great. It was Like, other than the fact it was windy as shit, I basically just sat out in the woods and fucking read shit on my phone and just chilled. Like, I was just chilling the whole time. So
Did you shoot just so you could say that you let some off?
no,
Nothing.
I can shoot whenever the fuck I want.
This is true.
Yeah. So, we haven't pissed the neighbors off yet. I'm sure if a few of my buddies from work came over, that would end very fast. But as of right now, we're still pretty good with the neighbors. So, as far as anything else, we went car shopping yesterday, which is probably part of the reason why I feel like shit, because I'm not a good passenger in a car. And we weren't shopping for me, we were shopping for my wife. So we were test driving cars all afternoon, and by the time I got home, I was just like, fuck this, I'm going to bed. Like, I was like car sick, fucking felt gross.
By the way, what miles per gallon do you get for your truck?
Probably average about 17.
Okay, because my cousin's husband just got a brand new GMC Sierra, and he said he knew it still needs to be broken in. He gets 9 miles to the gallon city.
Dude, I get less than that. I get
Then
like
he's
8.
got a bigger truck.
I can't believe trucks are still being manufactured that suck that much still.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God.
I mean, if you had like a Denali 2500 or a diesel,
Right.
it'll 100% like 8-9 miles a gallon.
That's what I have. I have a Silverado 2500, but it's like a 2001. It's like the old 8.1 liter engine.
Yeah,
That
it's like
sucker
the
gets
biggest
about-
motor they fucking made.
Yeah, it's like I get about 8 miles city and about 9 miles highway. But the
Yeah.
great thing is I don't have to go that. I don't ever travel far in the truck, and it's if I ever got to pull anything, which happens, does not affect my mileage one bit. So
You're better off taking the school bus to and from with that
I
gas
know,
mileage.
I
God
know, man.
damn.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why they don't sell big trucks like that overseas.
Yeah.
Like, if you wanted to drive my truck overseas, more than likely you would need a commercial license.
That, and I don't even think you can fit on their roads, dude. They're tiny itty bitty roads.
Yeah. Well, at least in the cities, but for me, like it's only round trip is 12 miles for me to go to work. So it's 1.5 gallons of gas for me to go to work in a day. No big deal.
That's not bad, yeah. You drive more than I do. And I feel like I'm close, but it always, like, how long does it take you?
10 minutes.
Okay, so mine is 8 miles, and it takes me 25.
Yeah.
God damn. Mine's 20 miles on the dot. It takes me 22 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But I'm also on the road at the ass crack of dawn. And
Right.
after rush hour when I'm coming home. So, like, I'm going on nights. I'm going away from traffic. Going north on 5. 'Cause
Okay.
Everybody's coming back from, like, DC and up north.
And Chad, just to give you an idea of how Salty drives, the last thing I remember him saying was, hold on to your oh Jesus bars when we were coming back from RLCS.
Yeah, I was so fucking pissed by the time. The traffic in fucking... That's the dumbest place to put a casino on the face of the earth. They put a casino out by itself between two of the biggest highways that go around DC, the biggest interstates that go around DC, and then they stuck a fucking outlet mall right across the street. So you've got like 8 million fucking people trying to leave at the same time on a Sunday night after RLCS at like 8:30. It took us over an hour before I finally just said fuck this, and we were literally like burning tires in the middle of the road to make a fucking U-turn and get the fuck out of there.
Damn.
Yeah, that's bad. Fuck that place. But I have not been playing any games. I know they just we were talking in one of the Discord channels. They just released Ark, or they're going to release Ark on the Switch, and it looks like straight garbage. No fucking surprise. Like that game when I run it with all the mods that I run on it uses 16 gigs of memory on my computer.
Wow.
That's
They're not,
insane.
like, even the mobile game on my phone, which is a Google Pixel 2, it looks okay. It is laggy as all fuck because there's just not enough memory on these devices to handle a game like that.
Do you like your Pixel 2 still?
I'd rather have a 3 just for the camera, but I'm not going to buy one.
Oh, that's right. The 3 is the most recent. Okay.
Yeah. Plus, they fucked up something with the Pixel 3 because there's a lot of people complaining that the phone memory isn't enough. So, like, if you're just running multiple apps at the same time, they're having issues where it's just like it'll actually stop updating apps in the background due to loss of memory.
Wow.
So that sucks for somebody like me who always has like 10 apps open.
Right.
But I love my phone.
Good shit.
And that's it for me. Simple.
Well, let's see. Non-gaming, I have just started soccer season as far as practice goes, so I got to start getting up in the mornings for soccer practice, which is not a huge deal. I'm already getting up early anyway. But I'd much rather practice before school than after school. It's not like football where you practice like in the middle of the day and then after school. It's just in the morning. So, and we don't play any games until starting the end of this month. So it's just practice. So no big deal. Got all my holiday shopping done on Amazon with the exception of for my wife, but I will get that done soon.
Best for last.
Yep. Save the best for last. That's a good idea though. I'm going to have her make a wish list and I'm just going to pick some shit off of that and then maybe find something else little or something to throw with it. But
and also make sure you throw in there's a Google extension that allows you to add any item on the internet to an Amazon wish list. So you're not restricted to just Amazon.
oh shit, really?
That's when you hit the stream deck and go, ding, 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 ding. The more you know. Is that what it says?
Yeah. Let's see. And then of course we had Thanksgiving. I guess it was a little over a week ago. Has it been? We haven't had a podcast since Thanksgiving, right?
Correctamundo.
Yeah. So we went. Our family has a property out in the hill country that's a few hundred acres that we just went out and had Thanksgiving there. It was probably about 15 of us or so, and it was just really nice. My niece was back in town from college, so it was good to see her, and the kids had a really good time, and it was just it was very relaxing. Like, we didn't really go anywhere. It was one of those staycation sort of deals because I was off work all week, and I pretty much sat around, drank beer, ate food, watched football, played video games for about a week straight. That's about all I did, and I'm totally okay with that.
Good shit.
Totally. It was a really like I came back to work last week feeling just totally refreshed, which is not a feeling I generally feel throughout the year at all because I'm just like go. So
Yeah, no shit.
as far as gaming goes, I've been continuing Red Dead Redemption 2. Although, like I said, I'm really taking my time with that game for a couple of reasons. One, it's just an amazing game, and two, I don't want to just keep streaming it because I know, like yourself, there's plenty of people that watch me that are trying to either play it later or try and be spoiler free. So I'm trying to just, one, maybe two streams at the most a week. That way people who want to play it for themselves, they don't feel like they can't come hang out my stream because that's all I'm playing. But I'm enjoying the hell out of that. It's a fantastic game and definitely worth taking time. I've heard some people were talking to me about the multiplayer, and I was, asking, like, are you going to play the multiplayer? Like, one, I don't play a ton of multiplayer stuff, but I wouldn't play that until after I beat the game, for one, and two, I've heard it's kind of bare bones right now. Like, it's probably going to take a while. It's kind of like when Grand Theft Auto first multiplayer came out. It's going to take a while to kind of populate and them to build on that. I'm sure it'll be good, but I've just heard this kind of not that great right now. It's basically this kind of the same game, content similar, and everything just costs a whole lot more.
Okay.
It's fucking Rockstar, so it's gonna be jam packed with hackers for the first year anyway.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, thanks to your girlfriend, I ended up buying Pokemon Let's Go on the Switch. And my original intention was to get it because I've been trying to get my son. We've been having a hard time getting him to read, and we were trying to find him a game he could play that would be text heavy, that would help him with his reading, but not a game that doesn't require any sort of, it's not super difficult.
Parenting done right. Can you talk to some of these bitch ass Fortnite parents, please?
Well, that's the thing. It's like he wants to play Fortnite. I'm like, dude, we're not just gonna play Fortnite all the time, So got the game. We played I ended up playing it the first week, like Thanksgiving week. I played that sucker for like 20 hours of playtime. He got about 2 or 3 hours, and it was great. It's the perfect game to just lay on the couch and play. You know what I mean? You can kind of zone out. You can just hunt Pokemon. It's a really good game for that. And then because I was playing it so damn much, and he was like, "Man, I want to play some Pokemon too," and I'm like, all right, I begrudgingly like, here you go. I guess I did buy this for you. So then I was like, shoot, I could get him Pokemon on his 3DS. He doesn't have the Switch yet that we got him for Christmas. Although I know I'll end up getting him that game too. So anyway, I got him that Pokemon Sun Ultimate. I don't know, whatever the most recent one that came out on 3DS. I got him that, and he's been playing that a lot. And believe it or not, it is starting to help him with his reading. So it's good. It's good. He likes it, and it's good. No, I love the game. It's actually, I never thought as a 37-year-old man that I would say that Pokemon's fun, but it actually is a whole lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. So, and then other than that, Portal 2, I started a playthrough of that yesterday, just kind of on a lark, and oh my god, I've been missing out. It is so much fun.
It's such a great game.
Yeah, and I've been stumped a couple times where I haven't been so stumped where I haven't been able to figure most of it out myself. I've been nudged in the right direction on a couple puzzles by chat, but I've got some cool, like Amber was hanging out with me and helping out yesterday, and I even did a short stream today just because I wanted to play it a little more, and it's fantastic. So I will probably be finishing that up before I go back into anything else, because it's just so much fun. The story's really good. The dialogue's good. I played it before, got stuck on a puzzle, and then just kind of forgot about it. But now that I'm back into it, I'm all in. So I'm going to finish Portal 2 finally.
Can I have an Amazon smart home device that has the voice of Wheatley, please? That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. Yeah. Wheatley's hilarious. And then finally, still playing. I'm still on Ninja Gaiden. I've made it. So the last boss has 3 phases. I beat the first phase and died like the second phase boss killed me. I took about half of his life. So I'm getting closer, man. I'm getting closer to beating that game. I'm going to do it. I'm going to freaking beat it.
I believe in you.
And I believe in myself. But that's it, dude. That's it.
Do you know what the hour count is up to?
I don't really count on stream. Maybe 15, not even that much. Off stream though, like I practice that game. Like I practice it on my NES Classic, dude. Because I have an NES Classic at work in the soccer field house. I have my own office there in the locker room, and so like the guys, I have to kind of monitor the locker room, and so they're showering and changing, and I'm in the office after I put the attendance in, and I'm just playing fucking Ninja Gaiden for about 15-20 minutes. So
nice,
good shit. Yeah, that's it.
So, Ember,
Hey.
tell me about your life.
So not a lot has gone on for like the past 2 weeks except for Fallout 76. But, real life, a lot of good food. We only had Thanksgiving for like 4 people, but we still had a ton of food. And we've been making apple pies pretty much every day since Thanksgiving.
Nice. Just because, like, you have leftovers to make it and stuff?
Well, just because it's so easy. Like, yeah, we could make it from scratch, or we could go buy a gluten-free pie crust. We could put canned filling in there, and then we can make a crumble to go on top.
Crumble.
With some ice cream, that's getting me through the days right now.
Good stuff.
Other than, like, good food, we had a little, scare with one of our cats. She's been walking funny. Have you guys ever seen those videos where they have like the brain disorder where they stumble around a lot?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing that, but she's, we've had her for like 10 years or something. So they said that it's just like a joint problem. It's nothing too bad. We just have to give her joint supplements every day.
Oh my. Okay. Well, that's good because, oh God, the thoughts of pets just starting to deteriorate.
Oh my God. The first thing, like, she's mean. Like, she's real mean. She's real ornery. And this is the second time we've ever had to take her to the vet. And they're like, we're going to try to draw blood before we sedate her. I'm like, sure, you can go ahead.
Go for it, dude.
You're going to have to put that cat to sleep. But the first thing they said when they walked into the room was good news. So that was
good.
so it's nothing too like dangerous or anything we have to worry about. She's just, you know, not as mobile as she used to be.
She's all fucked up now.
Poor little cat, she can't walk back and forth to her food bowl without like sitting in it.
Oh my lord. And by the way, I meant fucked up, drugs fucked up, not like your cat's fucked up. So that came out terrible.
Your cat's
No,
all
I got
fucked
you, I
up
got
now, Ember. What a jerk.
God. Crocs and dick pockets.
Yeah.
Anyways.
As far as games. Last month for October, we did a bunch of scary games. So I played through Observer. I got spooked a couple of times, but honestly nothing there. And then I don't know if I'm hard to scare or what, because I know Jimmy and I have different opinions on Layers of Fear.
Yeah, and I think our opinions differ as well.
I thought it was
Yeah.
pretty scary.
I
did.
laughed at it the whole time. I'm like, this is gonna happen, and there it is.
Oh.
It was just, I could see all of it coming.
You've got
like-
intuitive scary brain.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Jump scare here. Yep,
Mm.
there it goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't scared with Layers of Fear. I had a few after I finished Observer. We started Amnesia, finished that game. That one had like one really big jump scare, but for the most part, not scary. I like the puzzles. Then we moved on to Soma, which I really like, and I haven't finished yet.
Ooh, how far are you in Soma right now?
I've gotten the arc, so I just have to like do something with it,
Okay. Sweet.
if that makes any sense.
I've yet to play it as well, and Weenie played it recently, and I think she really liked it.
It's a really good game. I like any game. I like shows like Altered Carbon and stuff like that.
Oh,
where
that's a great show.
it's so good.
Yeah.
So Soma deals with that same kind of issue of identity versus in a tech-filled world. So
Mhm.
love it. Are you okay?
Just like those shows that, like, before Black Mirror and before, I've only heard little things about Altered Carbon, is it?
Oh, dude, you'd love it.
When you
haven't
have
seen it.
shows that perfectly encapsulate the era in which you are currently living and show you the scary endings that could befall us all,
Mhm.
it's like, oh, this is really fucking creepy. Like, Black Mirror was the first show where I was like, oh yeah, this is about us.
Yes.
Right now, not a history, not a future, something about the future. No, this is us right now, and I don't like it.
By the way,
Exactly.
new Black Mirror season hits the end of this month. Hashtag not an ad.
I have to binge
I'm
watch
so
all of them,
excited.
just back to back
Oh,
to
dude.
back.
You be careful because you will not be able to sleep if you got to be careful watching too many episodes of that show in a row.
Yeah.
Like
The
that's
gaming episode fucked me up.
there's
Yes.
a few episodes that fucked me up. Like even my wife, like we were like we were trying to go to bed and we were like, okay, I can't. It's just God, some of them are just so ugh.
Without any spoilers,
course
the
not.
season finale of season 4, where they like paid homage to all of the episodes.
Best
Mm.
episode.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a good one. It was a good
so
one.
fucking
So
good.
good. It's my favorite.
Yeah,
Chat.
it was a good episode.
Go watch Black
I
Mirror.
really
okay?
like White Christmas too. Is one of my favorite episodes also.
Can't go wrong with John Hamm.
Yeah,
Yo, yeah, that was one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Yep. Okay, cool. Anything else for you, Ember?
Besides Fallout 76, I've been playing on and off stream The Forest. We finally finished it the other day for the first time.
Such
Well,
a good game.
Verdict.
It's a good game. Like, the ending didn't even really matter. It's all about like making your own servers and surviving and farming stuff for other people and exploring the caves and all that stuff.
Replaying that game in VR is a completely new experience. So
I would love to play it in VR.
if there's anybody, we still need next time you're here, we talked about this. You guys got to come over and you got to try it if you still haven't tried it from that point on. So fucking good.
That would be so fucking insane. Like cliff diving missions and shit to find the items.
Going
in
into
VR.
caves and
Fuck that.
you
Fuck all
hear
that.
the little monsters just making noises in the distance. You hear babies crying and squealing, and then you
Oh,
see,
dude, no, fuck that.
Nope.
The
Fuck
babies
that.
are the
The fuck of that, man. No. Also,
Motherfucker just pops up behind you.
I can't play VR because it makes me sick. But even if I could, I probably don't think I'd had the balls to play that in VR.
What about Alien Isolation in VR, bud?
Shit, dude, I can't even play that in not VR without getting freaked out.
I would still love to see you finish that game.
I will finish it someday, but not today. Someday.
Anything else from you, Ember? Did I already ask that?
You did, but no.
Okay.
I'm good. That's me.
Cool. As far as myself, like everybody else, had a Thanksgiving. Weenie and I went to Boston Market for Thanksgiving, and I guess what they do is they shut down their entire menu and they just throw up a Thanksgiving menu. So I think we each paid $13, and it was turkey, gravy, cranberry sauce, and then you got to pick 2 sides. You got a roll, a complimentary apple pie, and then a drink. And so we just went there. We were the only people sitting down. Everybody else, there were some people that were getting boxes. We're buying boxes worth of food, and I'm not talking like takeout boxes. I'm talking like crate boxes.
I know people that do that just order Boston Market for their whole family for Thanksgiving.
Yep, and it was, I mean, nothing beats like a congregation of home cooked meals, like everybody bringing home cooked meals. But for the sake of it being Boston Market, it was pretty good. I was very impressed. So we had that, went home, probably had a nap at some point that day. We saw my buddy Randy. His band played a show the night before Thanksgiving. By the way, I was having a conversation with Mr. 42, and I forgot that Blackout Wednesday, aka the day before Thanksgiving, is probably not that much known outside of the country. So if there's anybody who's outside of the United States that's listening to this podcast, the day before Thanksgiving is the biggest bar night of the entire year, because it's one of the only days where everybody has off or the following day off. And so everybody goes out on Wednesdays to party. It's like, it's the best day to drive a cab. It's the worst time to get a DUI, and it's the time where the police department makes the most money, is because the amount of DUIs is always the highest on Blackout Wednesday.
With Thanksgiving, the bars are still open.
Yes.
The day before Christmas would be like that too, but most of the bars close early as fuck.
Yeah, and most people aren't really out, because if people are going to travel to your house from out of state for Thanksgiving or Christmas, most of the time people opt out for Christmas, or opt into Christmas. Sorry. So yeah, we went out for that. They played a show. They opened up for Sponge. It was awesome. They played for like hundreds of people. It was so awesome to see him just jamming out. So had a really good time. Weenie and I went down to the casino on Friday. It was like our 1-day vacation where she almost cost us $50 in hotel refrigerator liquor.
That censor is such bullshit, though, to be fair.
It was like, made a joke, Weenie laughed. I was like, ha ha. And I looked down on my phone, and by the time I looked up, she had Hennessy in one hand and Gatorade in the other hand. I was like, Weenie, put it back.
Put it back.
And it, like, out of all the things the person at the front desk said, the only thing Weenie ignored was the refrigerator has weighted sensors. And everything else just went right over.
I'm just trying to imagine Weenie in the room, like Harrison Ford style in The Last Crusade, like throwing the weights back on, you know, like balancing the idol. And
Just put a pouch of marbles on the sensor.
Yes.
You're golden.
Now, granted, in her defense, she did put them all back in a timely fashion, and we did not get charged. So it was super fucking lucky. So that was kind of it for non-gaming. As far as gaming, I've officially given up on Final Fantasy X.
I'm surprised you made it as far as you did.
Same.
If I didn't
My wife
have
called that, by the way.
your wife did?
Yeah, she loves Final Fantasy games, and I don't.
Okay.
So like, I had it up on the living room TV the other night. She's like, "Oh, he's playing Final Fantasy X." I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Well, aren't you gonna like watch it?" I'm like, "I don't really care. I'm just kind of chatting." And she's like, there's no fucking way he's finishing this on stream. This game's like 50, 60 hours or some shit.
Wait, okay, did she base that on how she thought I was in like my fun enjoyment level while I was streaming, or she just knew it wasn't going to be my type of game?
Kind of both.
Okay.
So, like, just the fact that it would take so fucking long to do on stream. And I was like, well, he's played games in the past that have taken 100 fucking hours.
Yep.
And he's done them entirely on stream. But I just don't see that being this game.
Yeah.
Like, I could see you playing through Final Fantasy 15, the most recent one, because even though it's a JRPG, it's a lot of it's very westernized and it's more modern, and the way it flows, it's not as. But that game, and you have to probably be a big Final Fantasy fan to really be into that game, and I know you're not. So.
Yeah, and for anybody listening, this was my first main Final Fantasy title ever. The only other two Final Fantasies I've played are Crystal Chronicles, which I can't fucking wait for the remaster on the Switch, goddamn, and then some like Game Boy Advance version of Final Fantasy. Strategy, fucking, I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah,
Final Fantasy Tactics.
Tactics, yes.
Yes, that's a really good one. That came out originally on the PS1 way back in the day.
Oh, and then it was remade for the Game Boy Advance?
Yeah, it was originally out for the PS1. It came out in like 97. I used to play it on PS1 way back.
Okay.
It's a good game. It's a fun game too.
See,
Dude,
back then, I bought Tactics because I thought it was going to be like a Final Fantasy game.
and it's really not. It's like turn-based strategy pretty much.
Right. And then I got it. I'm like, this is a Final Fantasy. And I returned that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
It probably sounded just like that too.
probably because Game Boy Advance. Alexa, when did the Game Boy Advance come out?
The Nintendo Game Boy Advance was released in the North American market
was
on June
before
11, 2001.
It was before the Nintendo DS. The DS came out in 2004.
2001 in the United States was Game
Yeah.
Boy Advance. Jesus Christ.
Sounds right.
So that was I was 11 years old then.
Wow. I'm just
Dang.
gonna, just back on this out of here.
I was 20.
God damn. Were you were probably deployed then, weren't you?
In 2001, I was stationed in Germany. Actually, I was overseas.
Crazy.
So.
Slaying that German puss, you sly dog.
Yeah.
As far as other games, Weenie and I have been putting serious time into the Dying Light DLC. Dying Light is an amazing game. I absolutely love it. If you haven't played it, find a friend or two, go play it. With the base game, doing a mild amount of side quests, 50, 60 hours of fun. And not repetitive fun,
dang.
in my opinion. It's
way more content than I thought that game had.
and
Oh no, it's like a full-fledged co-op campaign.
this
That's cool.
How Dying Light is how I want an Elder Scrolls game to be. Please, Lord, give this to me.
We're never gonna get that with Bethesda.
No, we're not.
Not ever.
Unless they charge for pre-orders so that we can pay to beta test it. Then we can make it great.
Not even then.
They just need a new fucking engine, man. They need to. I hope they're designing a new engine for the next Elder Scrolls game. Really do.
For every of their next games.
Yes.
And we will be talking about this soon. As far as other games that we've been playing, yeah, we've dumped at least 20 hours into just the following DLC the past couple of weeks, and it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So, I played A Day of Golf Story from the Nintendo Switch. That game's awesome.
It is.
I like that game a lot.
It's got a lot of character.
Yep.
I've never seen someone be so mad at golf before.
Me?
He's raging at those little kids. Okay, the only thing I've seen that's worse than that is Jimmy playing Pokemon Go and talking shit to kids.
Yeah, well, we all gotta do what we gotta do.
They can all kiss my ass.
Take that, bitch.
I beat Sleeping Dogs. I think I dumped maybe like 15 hours into that campaign or so. Very good game. Held up very well for how old it is. I definitely recommend the definitive edition if you haven't played it. It's like Yakuza / Grand Theft Auto / That's all I got. That's all I got for you. Sorry.
Pretty much it.
Yep. And then lastly, I have officially gotten back into playing The Witcher 3, and we are now playing the Heart and Stone DLC, and I'm just giddy about it because I dumped 90 hours into the base game all on stream, and I'm super pumped getting back into it. It's a great game. It's a great paced game for streaming. There's just so much time to sit and chat with people because the game has been out for such a long time. So many people know stuff that I don't, and the community is just so gracious with all of their knowledge. And for me, not from a playing standpoint and a streaming standpoint, Witcher 3 is definitely one of my favorites.
I wish I could go back and play that on stream because I played through the entire thing on stream.
DLCs too? Oh,
yes.
Man.
But that was like, that was before you. It was a little before you and I really had become good friends. So, but it took me. That's pretty much almost all I streamed for months straight. I mean, and it was probably some of the most fun I've had streaming a game ever, and most fun I've had playing a game too. So, one of the best games of all time. Certainly, easily in my top 10, maybe even top 5 games of all time.
For sure.
Really, really good.
All right. Moving on to the gaming news and discussion. During the week, if you would like to submit any gaming or streaming related news for us to possibly discuss on the show, you can post your links to articles in the Crocs and Hot Pockets hashtag news channel in Discord. And if the article is dope enough, we'll discuss it. So I want to give a shout out to Vans, Sonder, Renee, G for Greg, Matt Weenie, Zonger, Remax, and Mr. 42 and Arbor for all submitting articles for us to talk about. And of course, a shout out to Polygon, PC Gamer, and Rock Paper Shotgun for providing the articles that we're talking about. So first and foremost, just a couple rapid fire, just so you knows. First one, shocker, H1Z1 Pro League is shutting down. Number 2, TwitchCon is coming to Europe. Berlin, if my memory serves me correctly. Number 3, Elgato has released a 4K resolution cam link. Number 4, Nintendo is ending the creator program. And number 5, Twitch has updated its music guidelines. Be aware. So before I move along, is there any of these points that you guys have any questions or would like to elaborate on?
I wish the Nintendo people would stop linking their Japanese websites in their fucking articles.
A little weird. Like, aren't we the target market? Isn't it us? Yeah.
Never us.
I just wish they would kind of get their heads out of their asses and like catch up with the other companies, because most of the other companies are fine, especially indie companies are thrilled with you like streaming and sharing their game, and Nintendo's just like the opposite. They're like, no, this is ours, you can't even play it, you can't share it with other people, or we need to get that money.
Right.
They're the Apple of the video game world.
Yeah, they're just being dicks with some things. Some things they're being
with
awesome
all the
about.
content creation shit.
Yes, 100%.
Like, if you're gonna put out games that are gonna piss people off, at least let people share them. Like,
And
can't capture, can't do anything on it, or you're getting struck immediately.
And let us play all of the Mario Party mini games online whenever the fuck we want.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Jesus Lord.
I don't understand that.
Anyways, all right. Before we get into all of the other news articles that I want to talk about, I first have a question for you, and I have a question for chat. And these answers from chat I want to go over near the end of the show. What is the jankiest thing that you have ever done to your PC? Now, this could be anything from taping fans to the outside of your case because the internal case fan has died. This is like submerging your computer in water to keep it cool. Like, what have you done that if you were to take a picture of it and post it on social media that you would immediately get scolded for?
Ooh.
Probably all the shit I did with my graphics cards back in the day.
With the water cooling?
Water cooling all the graphics cards. That was just the jankiest shit ever.
In chat, if you want to answer this question, just type in !A and then your answer, and then we're going to go over these at the end of the show.
But I've definitely done the fans. I've done taking the side panels off and just putting a whole box fan on the side of it just to circulate as much air as possible. Because I used to run dual GPUs in a smaller case than I have now that only had one intake and one exhaust fan in it.
Oh,
Oh my
that was
God.
probably hot as hell.
So that thing would get hot as fuck. So
Yeah.
I used to have to take the side panels off and just put a box fan right next to it.
Damn.
Super
But
hot.
yeah.
I can't think of anything because I've only built. I built my last PC about 4 years ago, and then this one's less than a year old. But I can tell you one thing I have done. I have accidentally installed shit the wrong way plenty of times. I installed my fans the wrong way in the wrong direction. Had to redo them 3 times. I was all proud, posting update pictures on Discord, and Renack was like, Jimbo, your fans are backwards.
Yeah. I did that to my
In
wife's
fact,
computers.
He's like, how did you even get them screwed
Cooler.
in? And I was like, dude, it was really hard.
Right.
It was really hard. I was like at this weird angle to get the screw. I was like, I don't know how people do this.
Yeah, not only were the fans backwards, but you screwed them in on the from the inside.
Dude, it was I was sweating, man. Let me just say. I mean, I'm glad we figured it out. You figured it out, and I would have ended up figuring it out on my own, even without your intervention when I was trying to close shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I'm glad at least you told me, so I didn't end up screwing all the damn things in there. So I guess that would be the jankiest thing I've ever done, was just improper installation of extra fans.
Okay.
Jimmy, we need to sit down. We need to talk about your fan intake. They're backwards.
Yep.
We expected better from you, son.
You know, I've done a lot of things backwards over the years.
I mean, with Jimmy and his history of consoles, I didn't expect anything better.
Damn.
No firing back, just acceptance. We're moving along. We're moving up and out.
I don't even give a fuck anymore, honestly. Just like, whatever.
And says the guy who has 3 consoles sitting right next to him.
There's plenty of there's plenty of room to love them all. That's what I have to say.
What about you, Ember? Any janky computer fixes, setups, attachments?
Not for me personally. Like the jankiest thing that's ever happened to my computer is I still have an Antec Landboy case from 10 years ago. They by default they come on these bungee cords so that you can put your hard drives in there. Eventually they just deteriorated and fell apart, and my drives were hanging out sideways in there for a little bit. Sometimes I would put pieces of cardboard or whatever in there if I was worried that they were gonna fall. But they all got new stuff in them. They're all in there with steel now, so none of that. But my friend who lives in Japan, he has a gaming laptop, and I swear I never saw it. But he made up some sort of weird, completely out of cardboard, event system for his laptop. And it was went across his desk, it went up to the window, it went out to the window.
Good
I wish I could have seen it.
I want to read Dirk's out loud. I successfully built the entire PC, assembled everything correctly only to press the power button and it not do anything. Disassembled it, rebuilt it again, only to find out it was the switch on the back of the PSU using UK power instead of US.
Oh my god.
The fact that you didn't fry your shit with that, you are so lucky. Oh my god. Woo!
PC can be some powerful shit.
Right. I have 2 jankies. 2 janky stories. The first one, this is back when I was living at my parents' house. I was probably 17 years old, and I was talking to worldly ladies that were not J-dubs that I was not allowed to be talking to. Do you guys remember the name of the peripheral? It was I think it was MacBook only, but it was a super wide, thin. It was like an expansion slot card for super old. I don't know if it was just MacBooks.
Firewire?
Not Firewire.
They still make cards for laptops like that. The expansion slot cards.
I can't remember the name of it, but it's super wide and super thin. And that was.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and it almost looks like a credit card.
Yes.
Putting in, right?
Yep.
Yes. I can't remember the. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Super fucking large. So the internal wireless card was broken. Had to use that for wireless. The backlight on the laptop was also broken. So when I was trying to talk to this lady, because I didn't have the wireless password in the house that I was living in, I had to hold up the laptop and the lamp. And because the backlight was broken, I had the lamp pressed up against the laptop screen, like up against, totally up against, so that it would illuminate the left side of the screen so that I could read what she was saying in AOL Instant Messenger. And then I had to hold it up there in order to get Wi-Fi signal from the neighbors.
Shit.
So when it came time to type, I had a little headlamp on my head. I would put the lamp down, the headlamp would illuminate the keys, and I would type with one finger my message. And then in order to read it, I would have to hold the lamp up against the laptop screen. Because of the heat of the lamp, it would black out the LCD, the size of the lamp. And so I would have to switch sides. So I would put the lamp in the left hand, the laptop in the right, and then that black circle would slowly shrink down. And I did that for months just to try and talk to this girl. And still to this day, parents have no idea. But every time I get together with my parents, I like let them in on a little detail of like how sneaky I was.
You missed this.
Yeah. So many things. But yeah, so that was jank number 1. Jank number 2, in my last case, not only did I duct tape solid state hard drives to the inside of the case because I didn't have any mounts left. No moving parts. What the fuck? Who cares? I also didn't have enough SATA power slots on my power supply. So I plugged in a separate power supply and just ran the cables in through the back just to power like those 3 or 4 hard drives that I had in there. And that's all it did. It stayed on all the time. You know where you have you take the 24-pin power supply rail and you stick a paper clip in it and you connect the power in the ground and it just has the power supply stay on at all times. Yeah, that was powering my hard drives a couple PCs ago. Did what I had to do.
Okay.
Look, man, pussy's pussy. All right. All right. For those of you guys that answered in chat, we're gonna get to your answers towards the Q&A part. But now, I have one other question for you, chat, as well. And feel free to use the answer command. How's Battlefront 2 nowadays? Is anybody still playing it? What do you think about it? Is it worth getting, or is it worth getting Origin Premiere and just playing it for free sometimes? Let me know what you think, okay? Moving along to rapper sues Epic over Fortnite dance. And this, it's not necessarily a story worth discussing. I more so want to discuss, do you guys believe that these are headlines? And do you think the rapper has any grounds to stand on with a circumstance like this? Oh my God.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't think they do.
I don't know how you can.
You can't copyright a dance.
It's a dance. I mean, it's like a body movement. How do you?
Yeah, look, if they're not going to give Donald Faison money for the one they ripped almost perfectly off of him, I see, like, no grounds for anybody else.
How about this? Like, let's say one of the most iconic dances of all time, the moonwalk, right? Does the estate of Michael Jackson get a cut every time the moonwalk is used anywhere else, which is all over the place? You know what I mean?
But where else other than Fortnite are dances sold?
I mean, you could make, that's the thing, is if they made this a thing and they award him any money over this, what's going to end up happening is just massive shit tons of lawsuits for every time a person in a TV show does a dance, somebody on the fucking news does a dance, some dipshit kid in the background of a news reporter does the dance. Like, I don't see how they would set that precedence and just open fucking Pandora's box of copyright claims when it comes to shit like that.
My first initial thought was, I can't believe we're going to get to the point where if you do a certain body movement, you can get sued. But then I realized that NFL players get sued or not sued, but fined in the end zone all the time just for doing like certain celebratory dances.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the fucking day, if like, how can you can't even file a copyright on a dance. So how could you make a claim that they're stealing money from you? And then I saw another thing. It was another article, I think, that was linked in that article that was on PC Gamer, where the woman who wrote the article basically made it seem like it was cultural appropriation to have Fortnite characters doing quote unquote black dances.
Okay.
Like, Jesus Christ.
That's
So,
slippery slope, my friend.
that's my point. Why can't everybody just laugh at the dances and just keep moving on?
Yeah, well, I'll my short opinion is that I think it's silly, and I mean, I get that you're, I don't know. I mean, if you come up with a dance, it's only going to make it more popular. Here's the thing. If it's obviously he's the originator of the dance, then there should be just some type of rule that, yeah, like it's in association with, so it can get him some more maybe downloads for his music or something like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like there's some way that they have to recognize that. But I mean, shit, it's an animation of someone dancing. Who gives a fuck? You know?
Would you rather get paid for the dance, or would you rather them call the dance your name for the exposure?
I mean, I like what Chance the Rapper suggested, which was just putting the music that goes along with those dances behind it, and then compensating the creators that did it. But I mean, as far as paying them for no reason, yes, they sell the emotes, but you can't file a copyright in the U.S. Copyright Office for individual dance moves.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Legally.
Okay.
Ethically, it's fucked up. Legally, they don't have to do shit.
I think if the game we are talking about was not Fortnite, it would not be a headline.
You're probably right, just because there's so many people playing it, and that's why.
Yep.
Yeah.
He
wants
mean,
to make some money.
they could do some. This is where Epic has a chance to be like the awesome big brother. Is, hey, if you buy this dance, watch a 10-second clip from the music video where this dance was used. Just be like, oh, we're going to use your dance, but we're going to give you a 10-second shout out so that they can see who you are. They can see your name. And if they like it, they know where to find you. And
Yeah,
I
but
won't
then, like Weenie said up there, it's like then psycho moms are going to freak out because their kids are going to be listening to fucking rap music.
Okay, fair enough. But guess what? Your kids are already fucking killing people. They are gunning down other human beings.
You don't think kids listen? I teach high school. Kids listen to all kinds of fucked up shit. You know, like
I was in high school.
Yeah.
I used to listen to a lot of fucked up shit.
But it's only gotten more so since you and I were in high school. I mean,
guaranteed.
There's a lot of, you know, I even initially made the rule in like the soccer, because I went and got a stereo for the guys so they could have music in the locker room. You know, and I had this rule like, all right, I don't want to be hearing a bunch of F-bombs or this or that everywhere, and you know, whatever. But the truth is, that's just like, well, then they can't really listen to any of their music because that's all in there. You know what I mean?
You got to pick up them Walmart albums.
Yeah, exactly.
Censored.
They don't have
Now
the
7.
censored version of all their stuff. It's just, yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. At some point, you got to think: is this really bothering me, or is it bothering me? Because, you know, I don't know. I'm not even sure what point I was trying to make, but I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. It's like, I don't really give a fuck. But because if the question is it right, then it's what I said before. Ethically, I think they could do better to give credit where credit's due. Legally, do they have to? No.
No,
Yeah.
they don't at all. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm sort of kind of on the fence. How do you know that you, like Salty said, if you can't throw a copyright, or if you can't sue for copyright, or you can't do the same with a trademark, how do you know that it's actually yours? How do you know that that dance didn't come from somebody else whose music video didn't make it big yet? It's such a gray area, but what I'm not okay with is Epic taking things that aren't theirs and then throwing price tags on them and then charging for them. You're already making $1 million a day. A fucking day. Share the love. Come on. You guys are rich enough now. I'm interested to see what their value is at right now. Like their net worth as a company.
Oh God, who knows?
Right.
A lot.
Bourbon, we've talked about this so many times. Battle Royale was licensed to Epic. What don't you get about this? The man's getting a cut. For those of you who don't know what I'm trying to explain to Bourbon is that all these Battle Royale games that seem the same, they are the same because the person who created the Battle Royale game mode licensed it to all of these different companies. Arma 3, H1Z1, PUBG, Fortnite. They've all purchased the license to use that. So you can't say it's not their game. You're right, it's not, but they bought the rights to use it so they can do whatever the fuck they want.
So this article was from the 25th of July and says that Fortnite has helped make Epic Games worth up to $8 billion. According to Sensor Tower, Fortnite is estimated to earn an average of $2 million per day on mobile alone.
God damn.
And this was in the summertime when mobile was just coming out. So
right, and that was before the newest Samsung phone came out with all of those Fortnite branded deals.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
How do those games even work on mobile? Because like PUBG Mobile is just like a click thing where you kill people with clicking, right?
Right, and I believe Fortnite is the same. But from what I've seen, Fortnite runs pretty good on some mobile phones. But it's still hard as fuck to build and shoot, and I can't even imagine. I didn't even like playing Flappy Bird on my phone, let alone a fucking shooter, a building shooter. No, thank you. All right, the meat and potatoes of tonight's gaming news and discussions. Bethesda, Fallout 76, and a reminder that you should never pre-order a game, especially a pay-to-win. I'm sorry, not pay-to-win, a pay-to-beta test. If they are offering beta access for the price of pre-ordering the video game, and you succumb to that, it's your fault. It's your fault that the game fails. If the game is good, it's still your fault because the game will fail eventually. But
The beta was free though, right?
they had a free beta, but they also had a pre-order to get into the even earlier beta because they had two, didn't they? Okay. So, but still, it's not okay. So this is Ember has the most information and knowledge regarding all of this. So do you want to kind of take the lead on going over some of this info?
Well, where would you like me to start?
You can start wherever you like because we're all going to end at the same thing.
Okay, so Fallout 76 is one of like the most disappointing things I've ever had to experience. I think the only thing previous to this that was such a disappointment to me was probably Arkham Knight on the PC, and that was like years ago. But like, it hurts so much. Like I'm clearly Bethesda fangirl. If you guys watch, my stream at all, I played Fallout 4 pretty much since I started streaming last year, and we just recently finished it, and it's like a watered down version of Fallout that you could play with like 3 of your friends. And that's literally it.
What were your thoughts going into, like, what were your thoughts in between buying it and actually getting into the game and playing it for the first time?
So I guess I should start off with this. I didn't pay a single dollar for this game.
Oh.
So anything that I say is going to be slightly skewed by that. I didn't pay $60 for it. I didn't pay $40 for it when it was on sale. It was bought for me. So
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
The server status is not where it should be. Like, they had a stability patch right before it came out or right after. You honestly almost can't tell. You could definitely tell, like, from the beta to live. Like, what got me a little bit irked about all the early hate is that most of the reviewers were coming from people who had played the beta, and the beta wasn't anywhere near as good as the live version. Not saying that the live version is great, but it's definitely a lot more stable as far as, like, quest and server status goes. But it's still just not where it needs to be for a AAA game.
Right. And for how much, like, I think they all expected so much. Like, Fallout 4 came out 2 years ago now, maybe?
Yeah, might be more, maybe 3.
Maybe around 3. So
I think it was 2015.
Yeah, I think it was 2015, but it was, like, towards the end.
Okay. Yeah. The time between Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 was much greater than Fallout 4 and 76. Yeah. So I think even though all that time had passed, a lot of people were expecting, like, the next best thing, and that's not what a lot of people got. I've been trying.
What anybody got.
And I know there's so many people out there that are loving the game for what it is, and I truly believe that those people have a special gift, that they are able to just play a game and just have fun no matter what. Like, I don't necessarily watch Lyric too much, but Lyric can play any game. And even though I don't necessarily, it's not that I don't enjoy his content, it's just not for me. His content's just not for me. But he does a really good job of making games fun that have no business being fun. He makes them entertaining, and that's why he's done so well over the past, 5-7 years. I admire people like that. I envy people like that. I've been doing my best to not buy into the hate or the hype when it comes to new video games coming out. I want to buy a game for what it is, and I just want to enjoy it myself. Now, what I'm starting to realize is that I really need to take game stability into consideration. If I see a bunch of comments regarding the storyline or the character's clothes or what car you drove, I don't care about any of that shit. But if there's a bunch of discussion regarding the state of the game mechanics, the environment, how it works, I'm interested. And I was talking to Ember about this before the show. I watched Angry Joe's 40-minute review on Fallout 76. And it wasn't until today that I was like, oh man, okay. This isn't necessarily a case of some people just not liking the game because of personal preference. This game might actually be really bad. And that's kind of what I'm led to believe. Is it still on sale for half off right now, or is it back to full price?
I would think it's back to full price. I haven't checked.
Click, clack.
While there's a brief break in discussion, we talked about Fallout 76 on the show before, because we had said, "Are you getting it? Are you not?" And it was the same thing. I was like, "I'm gonna wait because I don't play a lot of multiplayer games." I wasn't a huge fan of Fallout 4. I thought it was okay. I wasn't like, it was enjoyable, but I enjoyed Fallout 3 and New Vegas more than I actually enjoyed Fallout 4. But from what I've seen, it's definitely not for me. And I think this is a case of a game where it could end up being better down the road, but I don't see it being worth paying $50 or $60 right now. I feel like it's a game that's really like still in beta, just like Twinny said, it's like, in a way, it is like the new No Man's Sky, where when No Man's Sky came out, it was missing all these features and it was really sloppy. Whereas No Man's Sky now, 2 years after the release, it's fucking fun. Like, I really like it a lot, but I didn't like it that much in the beginning. So I think if people want to give this game time, it might be worth it. But unless you're a massive fan of the Fallout universe and you are really just have some friends that you want to play this game with, I don't see how it's worth, I certainly don't see how it's worth full price. maybe half price if you got it on sale, maybe, but shit. I mean, it's with all the other stuff that there is that's so good to play right now.
Yeah.
I would have a hard time playing, and it's easy for me to say because I'm not a big Fallout fan, but even if you are a huge Fallout fan, I would imagine, you know, and I have a few friends that are, like you said, that are having a lot of fun playing it. In my eyes, good for them. I'm not shitting on them because they're having fun. I mean, shit, if you can have fun playing it, good. But from what I've seen of it, it's not for me. It is definitely not for me, at least in its current state. And you know, that's just my 2 cents.
And it's all about your level of expectation, right?
Sure.
Are you able to just keep that at an all-time low and go into a game with an open mind? And I'm trying to be that way. I don't necessarily think I am that way, but when I saw and heard about all of the issues that were plaguing the game in its current state right now, it made me do a big, oh, yikes, maybe not. So I don't know.
I noticed in the show notes you put the Jim Sterling review. Did he just take a mad shit on it or what, Sterling?
It's basically the same as the Angry Joe review. The thing about the Angry Joe review I like is that he called back to the E3 press conference when they talked about it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what started giving me the No Man's Sky feel. Because every time they brought No Man's Sky to E3, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to be interested until you guys tell me what kind of fucking game it is. But with Fallout, like, even though I wasn't like super hyped about it, I was still very careful because they excel at single player experiences. Like Fallout 4 didn't have like the narrative that a lot of Fallout fans were expecting. It didn't have like some of the mechanics didn't work, but the modding community can help them out so much there.
Oh yeah.
And even though there are some mods, I haven't figured out how to use them or install them or anything, but there are mods for Fallout 76. It's just, it doesn't...
It's an incomplete game.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
an incomplete
It
game.
honestly is. The best way that I can explain to someone who's trying to figure out whether to buy this or not, if you're not a fan of Fallout, I would just flat out say no. If you're a fan of Fallout and you like the exploration, you like going into places, like seeing like the world building they've done and that kind of thing, then I would say if you have friends, then sure. If you can, if you don't mind hawking up the $60 or whatever. It is back to 60, by the way.
Now,
so
yeah. when they were talking about the game, when Todd Howard was talking about 76 for the very first time, and he was explaining a whole new level of world design, lighting, environment design, is that the case? And I see you shaking your head. Please elaborate.
It is a gorgeous game. One thing in like the really good column that I can put into is that it's gorgeous. Like Fallout 4 did not have as many trees as this game does. And I know it's like weird to be like, it's got a lot of trees, but it's actually really impressive the amount of trees that are in the forest area. Like there's like different biomes and whatever. But it does look really good. There were things that Angry Joe brought up in his review, like the god rays or whatever going through the ground. That does happen a lot.
Oh man.
But when they work, they're pretty.
Right, yeah. That one thing he described where the game simulates a vision disease that he has, where things that are bright have this massive glow around them. That's fucking insane. Like, what? Now, before he said that, when his character was walking up to a giant glowing red box, in my head, I was like, ooh, that's really pretty. And then he got close and I said, oh God, that looks really bad. But yeah, I'm still kind of torn. Like I want to go for it, Jimbo. I want to like it and I want to get it and play it because I don't want to succumb to my old tendencies of just not getting a game because everybody else said they didn't like it. But keeping in mind all the technical bugs that are currently going on, I'm like, oh man, I don't really know yet. If you were to rate the game out of 10 right now as it stands, what would you give it?
I would probably give it a 6, and that's being real generous.
Okay.
But like I said, all that, like the exploring and the looting, like you guys know, like my emote is a loot box. Like I love looting, so like I haven't played barely any other game besides this game for 2 weeks. So I mean, there's something about it that is like making me want to play every day. But I can't. You can love a game and acknowledge the things that are wrong with it. And I think that's what a lot of people on the internet don't understand.
Right. And I think besides Bethesda's kind of failure to provide a deep, girthy experience for Fallout 4, I still think they deserve the chance to make it right. Like, out of all of the amazing titles that they have given us, but it doesn't seem like the internet wants to do so at all.
Another like miscommunication between the Bethesda, the game company, and the players is that there's no vendors. I mean, there's some vendors, but they all share like a 200 currency cap pool, and I think it fills up every day or something. But like what Bethesda wanted you to do was collect things and sell them to other players, and there's no system with which to do that whatsoever.
Oh, really?
There's no chat except for the voice chat, which is terrible. They don't even have push to talk in the game yet, and that's coming. That's like one of their features that they're adding.
That was stupid. That was
Honestly.
such. Who the fuck thought of that? Like,
I don't know.
Terrible.
that's just trying to, like, oh, we're going to change the way that gamers communicate with each other. You can't change us. We're stubborn, we're stupid, and we're hungry for pussy. Give us push to talk.
Right?
I can't. When I heard that, and the fact that push or voice activation is on permanently and active during your character creation scene. So, like, you can be there creating a character and somebody else can join the server and then just start spouting off.
Yeah.
What?
Like a lot of early streams, because you can just turn it off. Like I've never heard a single person in the game because you can just completely turn your voice comms off. So you can turn it off, but a lot of people, I think especially in the beta, didn't know that. So like casters and streamers, like everybody was just hearing them with their open mics all the time, like they could chat for donations and shit.
Oh my God, that too. Jesus. Well, survival game connoisseur SaltySam, what are your thoughts? I know we've talked about this before. Has anything changed for you?
No. I'm just like, I like survival crafting style games and shit like that too, but number one, I've never finished a Fallout game before.
Really?
I've seen every single Fallout game get played from one end to the other online. Like I've seen people stream through the games, but
Okay.
no, doesn't interest me
Okay.
in the least because the focus isn't on building; it's on the storyline and killing shit and all that.
Can we get a
Those are the
grab
games I
too?
play.
About Fallout 76, there is no storyline.
Yeah. And
We haven't even gotten into that part.
right.
Oh, fuck.
So yeah, Ember, feel free to segue us into the next point.
Honestly, like the overall point that I get, like I was worried that there was going to be no NPCs. Like I said before, a lot of the slack that Bethesda's consumers give them comes from their ability to pull off at least a bare bones kind of narrative like was in Fallout 4 or Skyrim or something like that. But there's none of that in 76. Like there are quest lines that are interesting, but like I said, I've been playing for like 2 weeks. There's like I can count on one hand the number of quest lines that are like fun and interesting to do.
Do you think Bethesda deserves the chance to make it up to the gamers?
I don't know. Like, what baffles me the most is like this game had to have been created in a vacuum because it's the same engine as Fallout 4. It's basically the same game as Fallout 4 in a new setting with a little bit, different animals. And like there's so much more they could have done with it. And it's so disheartening. It's like they didn't look at any other games when they were making it. They're like, how do we take what we already have and make it a multiplayer
Yeah,
game?
just
Right.
capitalize on it all over again.
It seems like I wasn't hearing any of this, like, cash grab nonsense. I'm like, Bethesda just doesn't know what they're doing yet. They need a little bit of time. But, like, as I see them push the Atom Store more and more, and we'll get to that later and, like, something else we're talking about, but I think I'm seeing it. Like, I can see that there was, like, almost no love put into this game, it seems like.
And it makes me sad. I mean, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Fallout. I don't say that in a negative way. I'm just not like a fanboy for Fallout. I very much enjoyed Fallout 3 to an extent, and I kind of fucked myself on my Fallout 3 gameplay and playthrough. Fallout 4 was good, but did not keep my attention whatsoever. Like, one day I just woke up and said, I don't really feel like playing Fallout anymore. Nothing was really keeping me to the game. I do love the Elder Scrolls side. I definitely have a much deeper connection to Elder Scrolls. I dumped over 200 hours into Oblivion. I've dumped over 100 hours into Skyrim, and I do plan to do more. So I don't know if my love for the Fallout series is deep enough for me to give this game a chance. And I'm still going to kind of just wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
Do you have any final points you want to touch on, Ember, before I get to my final point?
I just wish the game worked. Like, there are so many, like, quality of life things that are not being added to the game yet. Like, they say they're going to increase the stash limit, which right now you can only have, like, 400 weight in your workshop, in addition to what, like, you can carry on yourself.
Okay.
And for people who are going from Fallout 4 to Fallout 76, there is a lot of stuff that you have to change. Like, I'm a hoarder. I can't pick up every little thing anymore and then take it back to base and store it infinitely.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's one of the big problems that people are asking to be changed. But, like, I've learned to adjust. It's fine. It's more like the stability issues. Like, you just get kicked randomly from places. I take random damage for no reason at all sometimes. There's this one quest. Like, the whole objective of your game is kind of like a Rust-based thing. There are monsters that you kill that have codes, and they're the nuclear codes. And if you get enough of those codes for a certain silo, you can go into the silo, dismantle all the defenses there, and launch a nuke, and that will, like, completely transform an area to have, like, harder enemies and stuff that the higher level players, like, farm for XP and loot and all that good stuff. There is a place in the game where if you drop a nuke, it's supposed to spawn, like, the bosses of all bosses, and it's broken. It's just straight up broken.
Oh, what was another game like that where the end game just wasn't there? It was like the one main thing that was supposed to be fucking awesome was broke. Oh God,
Destiny, the first one.
was it Destiny? Like one of the final raids wasn't playable. Was it Destiny?
I didn't play the first Destiny, but
I'm
I
trying to
heard
think.
a lot of stuff.
Okay. Oh boy. Well, this conversation makes me sad because I did want to sort of give it a try, but I don't think I'm going to at this current time. The final point that I want to outline, and this kind of segues into a question that I saw pop up in chat. The reason you shouldn't pre-order, especially when it comes to companies that are asking you to pay money full price up front in order to beta test their game. There is no reason that you should have to buy in to beta testing their game for them. That is not on you. That is on them. Nowadays, we do not have the like rock hard infrastructure as far as consoles and games go. And what I mean by that is back in the day, the only thing you really need to worry about with your Super Nintendo is the outside turning yellow over a certain amount of time. Nowadays, you got to worry about red ring of death, overheating, consoles being online only, having terrible UIs. Like there's so much more at play, and because there is so many more things are broken, there is absolutely no reason for you to pre-order. There's no reason you should be having to test their game for them, because the track record of video games is get as much money as possible before everybody realizes what the game is. And then, oh, well, maybe we can like do some refunds, or we can give out, some extra gifts or some in-game shit. And the other thing too, the collector's edition of Fallout 76 was supposed to come with this awesome branded canvas bag, and they shipped a fucking tent container with straps.
Nylon.
Dear God. Terrible.
For $200, mind you.
Yeah, for $200 for the collector's edition. Like, you still got all the rest of the stuff, but one of the only things you would like, most people bought it for the helmet, whatever. But one of the only things in that collector's edition is that bag, and Bethesda didn't like buy enough material or something, or it was too expensive to make for their AAA game that they just produced. But the people who went to their press events got pretty good bags.
See, danger zone. That is a danger zone. Yeah, nowadays there's no reason that you should have to pay for a product that isn't done yet. And when it comes to video games, 80% of the ones aren't finished by the time. Like the amount of early access we have. And what's crazy is that there was a time before Steam refunds existed and you didn't have an option. You bought it and that was it. So we have a saving grace as far as games being terrible nowadays. But and anybody is more than welcome to challenge me on this. I have never seen a compelling argument. And the only one thing where I let pre-orders go is if there is some sort of in-game currency or in-game skin. If you can pre-order the day before the game officially comes out and you can still get those skins or in-game currency, go for it. That's fine. But when it's months before the game is supposed to come out and they're doing opt-in or paid-only betas, absolutely not. And the only way that's going to stop is if everybody makes a decision to stop feeding into those sort of beta programs. Now, with that, you are correct there. With that said, because I'm all about being truthful and having full transparency, I did pre-order Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but I think a lot of people did. And I honestly, I have no explanation. Okay. I know that this is what I'm preaching right now. But you can know that when that game comes out, it's going to be done. But anything I say past this point is just going to be me trying to justify why I pre-ordered. I just wanted it because all my friends were going to have it on the same day. And I want to play with my friends. But
I'm excited about it.
And that's the thing. Everybody gets like their pass or two. Like everybody has a game that they're so fucking stoked about that they just want to pre-order because they want it as soon as possible. But Super Smash Bros. Didn't have a paid beta to make sure that they could collect as much money as possible to make sure the game was done. Okay, you got to look at it.
They also pretty much know they're going to make a shitload of money, whether or not it's any good.
Exactly.
It'll be good.
Yep. Like, has any Smash game been bad?
No.
Subjectively, everyone's had their own opinions about the game as a whole, but they all work, and they've worked since day one.
Like, say what you want about Nintendo and them being behind with like their creator project or whatever, but you are never gonna get a game from Nintendo like we have just gotten a game from Bethesda.
No, never.
I think what was that game that they had to like bury? Was it E.T.? They just had to fucking bury all the cartridges.
The old Atari game. Yeah, they buried in that landfill. Yeah, they had all those copies.
So
Didn't sell.
it wasn't Nintendo. It was just still before my time.
Yeah, that was the old Atari game.
I
Buried.
didn't actually hear about that until I think it was Bourbon that told me about that within the last year or two. It's like I had no fucking idea this
Wow.
happened. Because again, Atari was before my time. The first console I had was the Super Nintendo.
Wow.
Crazy shit. All right, cool. That is it for the gaming news and discussion. We are moving along to the question and answer part of the show. So a bot has collected all the questions that you guys have asked so far. But first and foremost, I want to take a look at your guys' answers regarding either Battlefront or your janky fixes. So Snowguard said, just having hard drives plugged in and hanging around. Done that plenty of times. Girl of Crows says, so I didn't do this, but my boyfriend did. He had used washers the size of a $50 and screws and has wired his internet cable up a wall across the game room and kitchen ceiling and then down to the router. It's still like that to this day. Honestly,
I'll send you a picture if you want to see it.
Yes, please. How anal are you guys about how your house looks? Like the inside of your house? Salty, I see you waving. You can answer.
I'm way up here. That's
super anal.
Other than this room being a clusterfuck, the rest of my house is all right.
Okay.
I'll put it to you this way: when you talk about wiring, I crawled around in my attic when it was 97 degrees outside, running the network for this house, so it would all come into this closet back here.
Just how I like it.
That's how I feel about cable management in my house.
Dedication.
I'm pretty uptight. I mean, in the sense that it can't be a total mess. I mean, I get on my son if he has, too many toys downstairs. I tell him to put his toys away. Like, I don't care if he plays with toys downstairs, but I get annoyed if he leaves toys all over the place and shit. Like, I'm the firm believer that there's a place for everything, So when you're done using it, you put it in its place so you don't have shit all over the place, And that's kind of how I am in my office too. Like, this is probably the messiest room in the house, and it's not that messy. I mean, aside from my son's room, of course, but like the rooms that I spend time in, I'd say this may be just because just the way I have my desk set up. There's no way for me to really hide a lot of the wires and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But not bad. Yeah, I'm kind of I wouldn't say I'm a neat freak, but I'm like an 8 out of 10 cleanliness, I would say.
Amber's giggling for those that are audio listeners.
Okay, so this space back here is literally the cleanest thing in the house. Right? I even have like a pile of shit right here that is not usually in frame that you can see. So that's how I'm living.
Weenie and I are terrible adults when it comes to house cleanliness. It's bad. There's food, like there's bottles and food in my room. There's bottles and food in the living room because we don't have a dining room. We eat all of our meals at the coffee table in the living room. Clothes everywhere, and I would like to pawn this off on the size of our house and like not having a laundry room to be able to collect dirty clothes, not having a true place for a hamper. Like our house is made up of a bunch of hallways. Any space that isn't a hallway is taken up by furniture, desks, computers, all that stuff. So our house is pretty terrible most of the time. As you guys can see, everything that's in frame from the GoPro and this camera is immaculate, except for this beer bottle right here. But not that great. Like I've got 4 different Cat 6 cables that go out of my office. They're just kind of like neatly tucked into the carpet and the molding on one side. Our living room is maybe 100 feet of Christmas lights. I treat it the same way as my car. The house is just where we live. The car just drives me from A to B. And I try and focus my time on all of the other things. I think if I ever get to a point in my life where I have some sort of expendable income, I would maybe consider the idea of somebody to come clean my house for me. And I would do that before I ask somebody to shovel my driveway, cut my lawn, take out my trash. Like if I could have one person take one chore away from me, I think just not even necessarily cleaning or doing my laundry, just take all my trash, put all my shoes back towards the doors, and then I'll take care of everything else. If I could have somebody just do that for me, I might look like a decent human being in my own home, but that's about as far as I go.
I think mine has a lot to do with the kid now too.
Right.
Because it's just part of our routine that, like, at the end of the night, he cleans up all his toys and puts them away. And then, so it's like, he'll be putting his shit away. I'll be cleaning up the kitchen. And then it just stays clean because otherwise you're like, everybody knows the feeling of stepping on a Lego with a bare foot.
Ooh.
That's my house all day, every day because, like, he has these, like, car rugs. You know, like the ones we had when we were kids where you like play Hot Wheels. It looks like a little city. Well, the fucking cars blend into that shit, and you step on that motherfucker at 2 o'clock in the morning, and your life is over. Like you slip and fall and bust your ass, and fucking cuss a lot, and it sucks. Especially now that I have like hardwood floors throughout my house. It's just like the worst, slipperiest shit ever. So.
Do you ever try to do the Tom Cruise thing where you just slide in on your socks and your underwear?
No, I don't have the fucking balance for that. I would 100% legs up, Sam down.
All right, those are your guys' answers. Moving on to the questions. Our first one is from the EmberStrife, and her question was, if and when you get to heaven, I like how you went politically correct there. Is it your afterlife? Afterlife is
your own personal afterlife.
Okay, your afterlife is playing only one game for the rest of your life. What is it?
Oh man.
It'd have to be something I could mod.
I got an answer.
Probably Ark for me.
I got an answer that Salty might agree with, but I'll let Ember and Jimmy go first.
I'm still thinking. It's a tough one.
It's any game. It's any game that you have played or it's coming out that you know about. Any game that you can think of.
Grav! I want Grav back!
Yeah, the first 2 weeks of Grab, I could play that all day.
Over and over and over, please!
I've never heard of this.
It was a...
That's good for you.
Yeah, it was a sandbox survival game that came out maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and the devs put a shit ton of work behind it, and then one day just closed down all of their dedicated servers and took off, and they were never heard from again.
Yeah.
Yikes.
With prepaid money that they didn't refund.
Yeah. We had purchased like 6 months.
3 months or 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months in advance of server hosting, and then at the end of like the 4th month, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we're out of money, we're going out of business, see you later. But that is the game that I've had the most fun in, like a survival game that I've had the most fun in.
Well, and it was a game where you would level up your character, you'd level up your tools, your weapons,
bases,
and then you would basically have to go to harder areas to find different items to keep learning more shit. Like there were plans to have NPCs that would have missions, kind of like how Fallout was made up, but it was all like when you made the server, it was random draw on what the planets would be and how they would spawn, and then you could go to different moons. It was great. It was so fucking great, and they killed it, and I hate them.
I would have to say it might be it'd have to be a game that was multiplayer. But it would also need to be some type of game that was expansive and potentially to be able to mod. I might have to say No Man's Sky, because that game, I mean, it's procedurally generated. It's it's multiplayer. There's tons of different things to do, and yeah, I could see myself playing a game like that for tons and tons of time. So yeah.
Okay.
Surprised you didn't go with Battletoads.
Oh
shit!
Fuck that guy.
What about you, Ember?
I think I'm gonna have to go with WoW.
Okay.
Like if I could, because they keep releasing content for that game, if I could like have all the content as it comes out, But even if I just had to pick a spot in the game and play it like that for a while, I could probably do that too.
Okay. Next question from Cube Wins. If you end up in hell, which game would Satan force you to play for the rest of eternity? I'm just going to say mine first. Jack and Daxter 2. Fucking Jack and Daxter, man.
I'm leaving.
Or getting over it, even though I kind of like getting over it.
Yeah, that would not be hell for you.
Yeah.
I think that might be purgatory, but not hell.
Yeah, good call.
There's a game that came out for the original NES that I got. It's called it's made by Capcom. It's called Street Fighter 2049 or something like that. Like it's in the future, but it's like the shittiest platformer / whatever. Like it's terrible. Like it is just not a good game. And I tried, I saved money to buy this game. I did work when I was a kid to save money to buy this game because I thought, yeah, Street Fighter, yeah. Because Street Fighter was kind of all the rage around that time. Fuck no, that would be the game. That's the worst. One of the worst games I've ever played.
Can you imagine nowadays working a minimum wage job in order to save up that $60 to get Fallout 76 and then all of those hours of labor? Or let's say when No Man's Sky first came out, you worked for a month straight, you got yourself some gas money to get to and from school, and your leftover money went to video games. You went to Funko Land and you picked up your Fallout 76 disc, and then you went home.
Land?
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine the rage? Did you guys see the video of that one guy losing his fucking mind in a GameStop after realizing he couldn't get his money back for Fallout 76?
Yup. Every single, what are they called? They're not kiosks, but everything they put up in that store was on the ground when he left.
If any
Motherfucker.
If any of you guys are curious, just YouTube GameStop Fallout 76 freak out. I've never seen somebody be so angry without uttering a sound, just completely silent. And then
no grunts.
And then I won't spoil it. I won't say anything, but watch it. It's funny and also terrible because somebody had to clean it up.
But going back to Fallout 76 for 1 second.
Go for it.
It's I've heard some speculation that it's on the Bethesda store so that you can't refund it through Steam. So, I mean, I don't know if I believe that, because I think some people are getting refunds for it, but I think there would have been a lot more refunds if it had been released on Steam.
You know what? I actually, now that you mention that, I did see something that they were offering refunds. I can't remember the parameters in which you had to be in order to get that. But yeah, let's see, because Fallout, yeah, it's not in the Steam store, so interesting. Very okay. Did everybody answer that? Yeah.
I think except for me.
Okay, go for it.
Sam did.
Worst game of all time, Superman 64.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And I never played it, but I heard so many things about it that
It's naughty.
it was a bad game.
I think the worst game I've ever... I'm trying to think of a game that is not the worst, but it would still be hellish to play all the time, and I can't think of one. So, worst game I've ever played was Bubsy 3D for the PlayStation 1.
Okay. Oh man, you just made me think of Looney Tunes for Super Nintendo. I love that game very much. That was very difficult for me at a young age.
Ooh, Ghostbusters NES. I was thinking about that one. Paul put that in chat. That'd be my number 2. That was a terrible fucking game.
Okay. Next question from Filer. If you end up in purgatory, what game would Don Knotts be playing very poorly?
Any game.
I don't know who Don Knotts is.
Don't know who Don Knotts is?
No.
That's the
Oh
guy
my
from
God. Andy Griffith show.
Yeah. The sheriff, right?
He was the deputy.
Yeah.
Did he shoot the sheriff or?
Oh my God.
Oh,
Okay.
you young buck.
I know, Jimmy, back me up on this. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie. One of the movies that I grew up watching, was Nightmare Before Christmas, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, freaking The Ghost of Mr. Chicken, starring Don Knotts.
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
No, it was like
Never heard of it.
one of the first movies they made in color too. Like I love that shit.
Never seen that. No.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I'm behind. I'm so sorry.
Maybe I'm
the
just
Ghost
old.
of Mr. Chicken, the Ghost of Mr. Chicken came out in 1966, so that was probably before your time as well.
Just happened to see the classic. No, I hadn't seen that one.
He was in a bunch of shit
Oh yeah.
back in the day, back in the 60s.
He died
70s.
like 10 years ago?
Yeah, 2006.
12 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
I was close.
There's been a lot of shit, but probably most famous, as far as I'm concerned, for being Barney on Andy Griffith.
Okay.
Yes, for sure.
All right. So what game is he playing poorly?
Any game.
Yeah, he's old. Well,
Yeah.
he's dead now, so he's playing everything pretty poorly.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know anything about the man, so let's say
He's just this like goofy. He was always like the clown too. He was always like a little awkward.
Yeah, they only let him carry one bullet in his gun on Andy Griffith's show.
yeah, I have no idea.
He's always just played like the goof in everything
The
he's ever
lovable, stupid guy.
done. Yeah.
Second to last question from DBZ. What fighting games do all of you like, if any?
Street Fighter. I grew up playing Street Fighter. I still play it from time to time. It's fun. I love Street Fighter.
The last one's the only franchise I've ever really stuck with was I used to love playing Mortal Kombat and Soul Calibur 4, and that's probably the only other one I've ever played.
Voldo all day. What about you, Ember?
Fighting games are not my thing. The last fighting game that I played was on Super Nintendo, and it was called Final Fate.
Okay. Well, since MiddleAgedStream ruined the Street Fighter franchise for me the last time he was here, I would have to go with Super Smash Brothers as number 1, with Soul Calibur being number 2. Voldo was my main. Don't at me. Last question from Gigantic Gem. Do you feel like alphas are ruining gaming? Do you feel compelled to play the game again?
Yeah,
I think alpha AAAs are fucking ruining AAAs. I don't think alphas are bad at all.
Agreed. Subnautica and The Forest both started out being in early access for years, and it seems like all they've done is made it better.
Yeah.
Ark as well. Ark was
Astroneer.
the worst fucking optimized game ever created, and it's been going strong for like 4 years now.
Yeah.
I think you just have to put the right amount of pressure on the community, because any kind of early access, you're asking for as much feedback as possible from your community. So as long as you treat your community with respect and you listen to them, then there's no problem with it.
Yeah, I've been with Astroneer since alpha, and that, like, the amount of optimization and feature adding and like shit, the amount of times I've had some of their devs in my chat just hanging out, gathering input, figuring out what we liked and disliked. That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Well, and that's why I say you don't need $100 million game studios. They should already have that shit covered in-house.
Yep.
That's why they always had testers and all that other shit.
I'm beginning to question whether Bethesda even has a QA team, let alone uses them properly.
Right.
Probably not. I mean, no offense, everybody was nut sack deep on Bethesda after Fallout 4 came out, and then it was just like that was mainly because they hadn't put out a Fallout game in 5 or 6 years or whatever it was. But it's just like I don't think they've proven really much anything since then.
Right.
And that's the same thing with most of these big studios. They're all just trying to fucking be the next flavor of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's trying to put out anything anymore that's thoroughly vetted, tested. It's just like, let's just throw a bunch of shit at the fucking wall and see how many people bitch about it on Twitter, and then backpedal, and then come back out with one new feature so that everybody keeps our shit and doesn't refund it and backpedal again.
Also, here's some skins to keep you guys calm for a little bit while we do some work.
Fucking dumb.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with alphas. If a game is released with an obvious label that it is an alpha, and they say, hey, we can't really make it unless you guys kind of eat shit for a little bit and help and play our broken game until we get it to where we want.
Cheap.
And cheap. That's the key as well. Again, like Jimmy said, with Astroneer, I think Weenie and I paid maybe around $10 to $12 for Astroneer when it was an alpha, and we dropped 40 to 50 hours before it was even out of alpha. And it's games like that that make me appreciate early access, because it gave somebody like the developers of Astroneer a chance, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time. The fact of the matter is, it's one of those, this is why we can't have nice things, where it's abused so much. Like the amount of games that I've been burned by regarding early access heavily outweigh the games that have done it right. I'm trying to think of a big game recently that I was like, yes, this is a game that has done early access right. And it is slipping my mind right now. Fuck.
Couldn't tell you, buddy.
What's a pretty large early access game that, The Forest. The Forest is one of those games that has come such a long way from being original. But there's another game that's in the back of my mind that I'm going to think of when I'm trying to fall asleep later. That was like, yes, these people did it right, and now I can't remember what it is. It's gone. It's gone forever.
Yeah, there's good and bad ways to do it. I don't think I should be paying a shitload of money to be playing a broken or severely far from finished game. I mean, when I bought Ark, I bought it for, I want to say $17, and it was in fucking alpha for over a year after that. I had 600 plus hours before it ever even went live with the real version.
That needle ran real deep.
That motherfucking game doesn't owe me shit at all. And I've since bought all the DLC they've put out for it, because it could be done in other ways. Like, because it can be modded, you can make these types of games through code, but pay $9-10 to basically have a brand new version of the game in front of your face. I bought 3, I think. 3 or 4, maybe 4 of them.
I would say that one of the best companies who learn from their mistakes, and like one of the best comeback stories ever, No Man's Sky. I mean, they really went, oh my God, they could have just took off and said, well, that's the last of that. But they worked their ass off for another 2 years and then came back with a really, really good product. And I say that I only played the new release one time, but that one time of 8 hours straight was a really fucking good time. And like, to this day, I'll just say hats off and round of applause for Hello Games, because they ate more shit than I've ever seen anybody eat, and they turned around and they stayed true to their hearts and believing they wanted to just make a good game for people. And in my opinion, they came back and they did that.
Yep. And it wasn't completely their fault that it got so hyped up in the first place. It was their fault for not like calming it down and be like, no, that's not what we have in our game, instead of just like going with it and be like, yeah, sure.
Right.
But
not like
really
like an Apple you're holding your phone wrong moment where it's like, no, we made what we said we were going to, you're just playing it wrong.
Yeah, fucking stupid.
But they really stuck it out and came back and really worked hard to deliver the product that they said they were going to.
Yep. One of these days I'll get back into No Man's Sky. I still have the desire to, just don't have the time, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, I haven't ever played it. I was like fully off the hype train, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, but like,
It's a fun game. I just played it, some of the update recently. But it's like they've added so much stuff to the game. I almost feel like I need to start over again. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I need to just start over. And even though the beginning is a lot of it's the same, but I feel like, especially because it had been so long since I'd played it last, and I'm like, well, kind of forgot what I was doing, and da-da-da-da. I'm like, I might as well just start a new game.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you playing on PC?
I'm both. I'm
Okay.
playing it on both PS4 and PC. I have it on both.
Okay.
It plays really well on PS4, surprisingly.
Yeah, watching you before I purchased the game, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Dope. All right, guys. Well, that is actually going to be it for our podcast tonight. Thank you all for not only hanging out, but submitting all of those awesome question and answers. It was fantastic being able to hear from you guys. What we're going to do is one more time go around the room, have you guys introduce yourselves to the community, and then we're gonna close up shop. So SaltySam, who are you? Where can we find you online? And do you have any cool shit coming up worth talking about?
My name is SaltySam. You can find me on Twitter at the SaltySam, Instagram Salty all day. As far as things coming up, doubtful. Just trying to fucking stay sane for the next 3 weeks and get through this fucking holiday season in one piece.
My name is Jimmy, a.k.a. MiddleAgedStream. You can find me on Twitch and Instagram at MiddleAgedStream, MiddleAgedStream on Twitter. The only thing going on with me, just my usual streams, usually Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. I'm going to make it through Portal 2. And then hopefully Ninja Gaiden, more Pokemon, more Red Dead, and obviously Smash coming soon.
Yeah!
And I don't think I told you this before, Jimmy, tonight at least, but after you finished your stream, I reinstalled Portal 2 and started playing it.
Hell yeah. It's a great game.
Oh, just watching you made me want to go back and replay it.
It's fun.
Well, yeah, guys, my name's EmberStrife. You can find me at EmberStrife on Twitter and Facebook. You can also find me not uploading videos to my YouTube channel, which is the EmberStrife, and I try to stream a couple times a week on Twitch. Same name, the EmberStrife.
My name is Knackers. You guys can find me on this very channel or on Twitter and Instagram at Knackers with 3 A's. Thank you all so very, very much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. The Crocs and Hot Pockets will be back next week with special guest, the Sushi Dragon. Oh, baby! So we'll see you guys next Sunday. All right, everybody, take care. We love you. Goodbye.
Bye. Mwah.